Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.
Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCW Life Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window where we are seeing an ever-changing weather afternoon around the Wenatchee Valley today. Taking a look at our cross camera down at the Wenatchee Valley, you can see clouds hanging a little bit lower now, obscuring the tops of our mountains around the Wenatchee Valley, and that is just the start of a pretty major winter storm that's headed our way. This is what we'll see as far as winter storm warnings and advisories. The areas in pink are where we're seeing a winter storm warning, and that affects almost all passes, at least around north central and northeastern Washington. Here in Wenatchee, we're under a weather advisory. Those are the areas in purple that you're seeing. Boy, travel over the next 24 hours on Stevens, Blewett, and Snoqualmie Pass, not good. In fact, here's a look at that map where we will see a lot of snow. In fact, heavy snow beginning tonight and going through tomorrow morning on Snoqualmie Pass, Loop Loop, Stevens, and Blewett passes. So it could be a rough one traveling out there, and this trend will continue through Thursday night into Friday morning, and even some lingering snow showers on Friday. We'll talk more about this pending winter storm a little bit later on in your local weather forecast. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. Warden schools were placed on precautionary lockdown yesterday, and a Moses Lake motel manager stole a credit card and then ordered pizza. We'll tell you about it. But first, we begin tonight. Protecting our students from gun violence is the hot button issue currently facing this country. At last night's Wenatchee School District Board meeting, former Wenatchee police officer and current host of Street Talk and Other Stuff on the NCW Life channel, Mike Magnotti, let the school board know they were entitled to his opinion.
We have to do something. We have to do something here. We have to accept responsibility ourselves. The one thing that has been done in the past 20 years is gun-free zone signs. I don't mean any disrespect, but I don't know how anyone can look at those signs and not realize that they're ridiculous, they're ludicrous, they prevent nothing. They are a sop of political correctness to make us look like we're taking some action. And I mean no disrespect, I really don't, okay? But the time has come for us to do something to take the responsibility ourselves. So again, I'm strongly suggesting that this school board do what's necessary to place metal detectors and armed guards at schools and limit access. We need to do something. Thank you very much for your time.
The public is invited to a listening and learning forum at Wenatchee High School on the topic of school safety. This will be an open microphone meeting for the community to share thoughts about safety with the Wenatchee School Board and administrators. The forum is this Monday, March 5th at Wenatchee High School from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. This will be an open discussion regarding gun violence and school safety. Also tonight, an update on the messages written on a restroom wall at Wenatchee High School last Wednesday. They referenced the recent school shooting in Florida and that Wenatchee students shouldn't attend school on Friday, March 2nd. Superintendent Brian Flonis told NCW Life News earlier today that law enforcement still has no suspects in the case and school will go on as planned this Friday. Warden schools were placed on precautionary lockdown yesterday after people about 8 blocks from the school saw 2 unknown white males possibly carrying weapons and walking toward the schools. Police responded but did not locate anyone with weapons. Students were all released at the normal time and no threats were confirmed. As a precaution, the district canceled all school sports for the day. Well, a man has pleaded guilty in connection with the December 16th high-speed pursuit and crash near Moses Lake. NCW Life's Jay Seebeck has more. 29-year-old Nicholas Romero Rivera pleaded guilty in Grant County Superior Court to vehicular assault. Romero Rivera was originally sought by police for driving off from a traffic stop on December 9th. Then, on December 16th, deputies spotted Rivera's 2006 BMW as he ran a stop sign near Stratford Road. Police say Romero Rivera drove off at a high rate of speed and the deputies stopped the pursuit. Shortly after, his vehicle was spotted by Moses Lake Police near Road 7 Northeast, north of Moses Lake. The man continued at a high rate of speed on Road N Northeast, where his car went airborne before Romero Rivera lost control and went off the road. The BMW hit a large rock, causing the car to roll several times before coming to a stop against a fence. The car was traveling more than 110 miles per hour when he lost control. Police found Rivera trapped in the car with his 22-year-old female passenger unresponsive lying on top of him. Both were taken to Samaritan Hospital before being transferred to Sacred Heart Medical Center in Spokane. Police say Rivera suffered a broken neck while his passenger had a skull fracture. A sawed-off shotgun along with shotgun shells and a 9mm pistol were recovered at the scene, along with 2 open beer bottles and about 7 grams of methamphetamine in that car. Grant Olson.
And then there's the story of the missing credit card and a pizza. It happened this week in Moses Lake at the Imperial Motel. It involves this woman, identified as 28-year-old Brandy Smithers, who manages the motel. Police say a former customer from Arizona contacted officers and said someone had used his credit card at a pizza restaurant in town and delivered to the motel. It turns out Smithers had allegedly stolen the man's credit card information to order a pizza for her and her friends. Police arrested Smithers at that motel. A subsequent search turned up about an ounce of heroin and some methamphetamine inside the room. Officers say the motel has a history of illegal narcotics activity. The investigation is ongoing and additional charges are pending. Coming up next, plans for developing an alpine adventure park in Leavenworth took another step forward yesterday, and Chelan and Douglas counties have inked a new contract to house Douglas County inmates at the Regional Justice Center. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life Evening News.
Hi there, my name's Patrick and I'm the branch manager here at New American Funding. Applying for a home loan is an exciting time. You may have a lot of questions about how to meet your home loan goals, the loan process, or your borrowing options. We're here to help. We do things differently here at New American Funding. Not only do we have an array of loan products and a team of specialists to support you, but we get to know you personally. We want to earn your trust and business for life. So stop by our Wenatchee or Chelan office or give us a call today.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
Welcome back. In another news, plans for developing an alpine adventure park in Leavenworth took another step forward after the property where it's proposed to be located was annexed into the city limits. NCW Life's Steve Hare reports.
Last night, the City Council voted 6-1 for the annexation of the 11-acre parcel located in the area where Osprey Rafting currently operates. John Sutherland wants to develop an outdoor adventure park with features such as rock climbing walls and zip line rides. The main attraction, though, is an alpine coaster ride, which has become popular in Europe.
It's basically 6 steel rails that have what are called up-stop wheels that keep you from coming off the track. So you get pulled up the hill, and then you'll just move downhill, and as you push forward and control the brakes, you can either push all the way forward and have as few little brake as possible, or once you let go, you automatically stop. So it's a really kind of fun activity for people to kind of guide themselves down the hill on and get a great view of town in the valley.
Sutherland has applied for a conditional use permit to develop the park, and he says he looks forward to working through the environmental and public review process to address any issues of concern. Says if all the pieces come together as planned, the new Alpine Coaster Adventure Park could open as early as next June. Steve Hare, NCW Life News.
Chelan and Douglas counties have inked a new contract to house Douglas County inmates at the Regional Justice Center. Commissioner Kevin Overbay says the new pact was signed Monday after clearing up some confusion concerning past billing.
We had an opportunity to renew the contract with Douglas County. I know that there was an article that came out a few weeks ago with regards to Douglas County's concern that they might have been overbilled over the course of the last 3 or 4 years of $91,000. That was not the case. They actually went back through and looked at things. We had done an audit and found that there actually was no overbilling. But as our contracts run on an annual basis, and with Douglas County, they actually contract with Okanagan County Jail for their long term. What they have with us is they have a short term, it's a 24-hour hold time frame that their officers or other law enforcement agencies who take folks in on warrants or make arrests for Douglas County can actually have a localized area here, facility to place those folks for the 24 hours, and then they are then transferred from the regional jail here in Wenatchee to Okanagan County.
Overbay says the two county boards also continue to discuss the possibility of Douglas County's use of the Chelan County Juvenile Jail. Douglas County currently sends youth offenders to Martin Hall near Medical Lake, but Overbay says Chelan County can offer less costly rates. Well, late Monday evening, Manson volunteer firefighters found themselves on thin ice as they practiced rescues with specialized equipment for frigid situations on the water. Fire Chief Arnold Baker said training started after a fatal incident years ago.
We had a loss that hit the community back in 2000, and we had to do something about it. We have 3 lakes that freeze over annually, and we have a lot of people that go out ice fishing. But as ice was kind of falling apart about 4 weeks ago, and I actually had a photo of one day, and there was 40 people out on Roses Lake ice fishing, and we were not very confident in the ice, and people were out there, so there's significant risk, and we have the tools, and so this was the kind of opportunity to kind of sharpen our skills and get more people on the ice rescue team. Training went fantastic. We didn't have a lot of people who really wanted to go in there, but we had 4 new people that participated and went out that hadn't been on ice team before. So that was really a great little boost to get 4 people out there. And it's kind of like, a little apprehensive about getting in the ice water. And they realized, this is a piece of cake. This is great. So it was a good opportunity to build confidence.
On a related note, Baker celebrates his 20th year as chief of the Manson Fire Department and says he's as motivated as ever to continue work in the Manson community. For more, visit ncwlife.com. You're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Coming up next, your sports update with Eric Granstrom and our feature story tonight. That and much more still to come right here on the NCW Life Evening News. Stay with us.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old, fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
Thursday night, hockey night on the NCW Life Channel. It all begins at 7 o'clock with a call of the Wild and Clarkie's Corner. Then it's non-stop hockey action with the voice of the Wild, Arch Ecker. Join us as the Wild battle the rest of the BCHL. Thursday night is hockey night on the NCW Life Channel.
Lake Wenatchee YMCA camp programs focus on our 4 core values of caring, honesty, respect, and responsibility. Make this summer's memories last a lifetime. Pick your theme week today with a wide variety of safe and engaging activities. Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp is the ultimate summer fun in the sun camp for children, teens, and families. Reserve your child's week today.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy Wednesday. Well, today is the day. All the nervous anticipation, all the practice, all the work, it all comes to a head. Day 1 of the Hardwood Classic State Basketball Tournaments. Actually, 6 tournaments getting underway today in 3 locations. The 4A and 3A schools are at the Tacoma Dome, 2A and 1A schools at the Sun Dome in Yakima, 2B and 1B teams at Veterans Memorial Arena in Spokane. First of the schools, we're watching the Brewster girls. Well, it was a fast-paced up-and-down game for Brewster and Napavine today during the lunch hour of the State 2B tournament in Spokane. Unfortunately, the Bears were not able to keep up with the balanced attack by Napavine. Both an inside and outside game for Napavine. There you see a nice shot from outside for Brewster. But the Lady Bears unable to hold up. 62-52 was the final score, so the Lady Bears season comes to an end today at the State B tournament. The Brewster boys will face Life Christian Academy tonight in Day 1's finale. 9 o'clock, the Bears sport a record of 20-4. The Eagles 22-4. Winner of tonight's game gets a quarterfinal matchup tomorrow against the second-ranked and undefeated St. George's. Antioch girls are also playing the late game tonight in Spokane at 9 o'clock against Mount Rainier Lutheran. Tigers 21-2, ranked 9th in the state's final RPI poll. Hawks 21-4, finished just ahead at 8th. Senior Natalia Paz says she thinks that her team is ready for the challenge.
We definitely have the confidence going into it, and it's just we're definitely ready for state. I mean, we've had a couple games like against the #1 seed Colton right now, but I think we match up pretty decently.
Now, Paz says she and the rest of her team carry the entire community with them to Spokane, which equals a lot of pride.
It means just to have pride, just to do my best, just to be respectful, and just what our pride stands for: perseverance, respect, integrity, discipline, and excellence. That's just what it is. That's what I've grown up with.
Antioch Mount Rainier Lutheran tonight, 9 o'clock. We'll have the results tomorrow for you. Cashmere girls, meanwhile, leave today around 1 o'clock for the State A tournament in Yakima. They'll get settled into their hotel, have a workout, get some dinner, then head over to the Sun Dome to watch Nooksack Valley and Meridian. Cashmere will face the winner tomorrow night at 9 o'clock in the quarterfinals. While the Bulldogs have a lot of confidence as they take on the best teams in the state, their coach, Brent Darnell, says they'll also need some bounces to go their way to hoist the gold ball come Saturday night.
Been there 5 times. It's not easy. We need some help from the basketball gods. I've been praying often, and hopefully they're listening. So we need a little luck over there. I mean, we're really skilled, and there's some other teams skilled, but man, you need just 1 or 2 small breaks to that big 3 at the end, or that one stop, and you got to get those in key moments. So hopefully we'll have a little luck from the Irish this year. I married an Irish woman, so I'm due for a little luck.
Now, tomorrow we'll focus on Cashmere's amazingly talented sophomore guard, Haley Van Lith. She's averaging 33 points as all the top colleges in the country recruiting her and the driving force behind her team's success. More on her from her coach, her teammates, as well as Haley tomorrow. Well, the Mariners lost both split squad games in Cactus League play yesterday in Arizona. Seattle lost to Kansas City 14-9. Despite a good day at the plate for Taylor Motter, Seattle hosted San Diego Padres in the other game. Gene Segura had a nice day at the plate.
Healy, here's the stretch and the pitch. Swing and a well-hit ball deep to left center field. This one is going and going. Goodbye baseball. Gene Segura with his first home run of the spring. A 2-run drive onto the berm in left center field. 2-0 Mariners leading the Padres. Segura gets one out of the ballpark. A souvenir for a fan up there. And #1 for Segura this spring, and it's 2-0 Mariners.
That's your check of sports news. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. Chelan County Commissioner Keith Gaynor is attending the annual conference of the National Association of Counties this week in Washington, D.C. The event is a chance for counties to discuss issues of mutual concern, including marijuana, which is now legal in 9 states. Commissioners Doug England and Kevin Overbay say many of the same issues they're dealing with are shared by other county commissioners across the country.
We have a concern partly with leakage of illegal marijuana that is appearing both within the state and in other states that have been traced back to those states that allow it. But most people most states approached a little bit differently, and that's kind of what we'll be sharing. We've been disappointed that the willing partner of our states have indicated that they would be with us every step of the way, and we found that to not quite be accurate. And it's been a little difficult to impose local rules at the same time that states continuing to issue licenses and then also continue to go ahead and not allow us to even appeal those licenses.
Interesting. Well, you were really on the cutting edge of all of that, Commissioner Overbay, in the drafting of the rules that have been passed for Chelan County marijuana's industry. Anything you'd like to add to that conversation?
No, it's. I think what they'll have an opportunity to do is actually share some of the lessons learned. You know, some of the things that actually worked, some of the things that did not, some of the challenges, and so it's going to be, I think, an interesting conversation for participation. You know, of each one of the states that have had an opportunity to do that, so that folks don't have to go back and recreate the wheel.
We'll be back in just a moment with the recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Lake Chelan mailboxes find solutions and the best price for all your shipping needs, including UPS, FedEx, and the U.S. Postal Service. We offer a variety of services including quality copies of all sizes, faxing, scanning, sending and receiving email, laminating, and notarizing. Enjoy browsing through our large selection of greeting cards. Lake Chelan Mailboxes supports our military, fire victims, and our community. Come see us at the Plaza in Lake Chelan.
Family means something in these parts. Family owned and operated means even more. At Rose Tractor, you're buying more than a product. You're buying years of knowledge through multiple generations. It means you can count on Rose for quality products, quality repairs, and folks who stand behind the products they sell. From your job site to your home, to rentals and repairs, to new outdoor power equipment, Rose Tractor is growing with you throughout the years. Rose Tractor, quality brands you can trust year after year.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
ReadyMedi is healthcare made simple and affordable. We are the only direct primary care practice that provides personalized and holistic health care in North Central Washington. Our wellness model not only helps prevent heart attacks and strokes, but we also optimize hormones. Affordability is our goal. For example, hip surgery locally is $45,000, whereas our members have the same access for $15,000. ReadyMedi, healthcare made simple and affordable.
Time now for a recap of some of tonight's top stories. Warden schools were placed on precautionary lockdown yesterday after people about 8 blocks from the school saw 2 unknown white males possibly carrying weapons and walking toward the school. Police responded but did not locate anyone with weapons. Students were all released at the normal time and no threats were confirmed. As a precaution, the district canceled all school sports for the day. Chelan and Douglas counties have inked a new contract to house Douglas County inmates at the Regional Justice Center. Commissioner Kevin Overbay says the new pact was signed Monday after clearing up some confusion concerning past billing.
We had an opportunity to renew the contract with Douglas County. I know that there was an article that came out a few weeks ago with regards to Douglas County's concern that they might have been overbilled over the course of the last 3 or 4 years of $91,000. That was not the case. They actually went back through and looked at things. We had done an audit and found that there actually was no overbilling. But you know, as our contracts are on an annual basis, and with Douglas County, they actually contract with Okanagan County Jail for their long term. What they have with us is they have a short term, it's a 24-hour hold time frame that their officers or other law enforcement agencies who take folks in on warrants or make arrests for Douglas County can actually have a localized area here, facility to place those folks for the 24 hours, and then they are then transferred from the regional jail here in Wenatchee to Okanagan County.
Overbay says the two county boards also continue to discuss the possibility of Douglas County's use of the Chelan County Juvenile Jail. Douglas County currently sends youth offenders to Martin Hall near Medical Lake. But Overbay says Chelan County can offer less costly rates. Well, plans for developing an Alpine Adventure Park in Leavenworth took another step forward after the property where it's proposed to be located was annexed into the city limits. NCW Life's Steve Hare reports.
Last night, the City Council voted 6-1 for the annexation of the 11-acre parcel located in the area where Osprey Rafting currently operates. John Sutherland wants to develop an outdoor adventure park with features such as rock climbing walls and zip line rides. The main attraction, though, is an alpine coaster ride, which has become popular in Europe.
And it's basically 6 steel rails that have what are called upstop wheels that keep you from coming off the track. So you get pulled up the hill, and then you'll just move downhill, and as you push forward and control the brakes, you can either push all the way forward and have as few little brake as possible, or once you let go, you automatically stop. So it's a really kind of fun activity for people to kind of guide themselves down the hill on and get a great view of town in the valley.
Sutherland has applied for a conditional use permit to develop the park, and he says he looks forward to working through the environmental and public review process to address any issues of concern. Says if all the pieces come together as planned, the new Alpine Coaster Adventure Park could open as early as next June. Steve Hare, NCW Life News.
Time now for your North Central Washington weather forecast. Before we get to the impending winter storm that's moving in on us, let's take another look outside our weather window where we're seeing a lot of clouds and a lot of low-hanging clouds now. Taking a look from our Skycam tower camera on near the cross camera down at the Wenatchee Valley. We are seeing clouds, and as I mentioned, a big weather change is expected today into Friday. And as we take a look at satellite imagery, it's showing a strong and deep Gulf of Alaska trough digging aggressively eastward just off the British Columbia coast. The associated area of low pressure is pushing a large wave of moisture ahead of that. We still have a 50% chance of rain showers developing before our evening darkness, and that goes up to a 100% chance of rain mixed with snow showers tonight and overnight. This weather system is called a close low, which means it's cut off from other weather features. This pattern usually sets up for a long period of moist southerly flow, and that's what we expect over the next few days in our forecast area. With that in mind, we'll also see an 80% chance of rain and snow on Thursday and a 60% chance of a wintry mix on Friday. Mainly rain is expected for the Wenatchee Valley over this forecast period, but we may have accumulating snow at times. I think that'll be probably into Friday morning. We do have a winter weather advisory for some locations in our area from 4 o'clock this afternoon until 4 tomorrow morning. Don't forget also a winter storm warning in most of the mountains to our west and to our north, and that lasts until tomorrow as well. As I mentioned, most of the real snow will be in the mountains where up to a foot is possible, and eastern Washington, Spokane could pick up 4 to 6 inches of new snow. Our weather quiets down on Saturday and into the weekend as high pressure builds in, bringing mostly sunny skies and light winds with highs this weekend and early next week in the mid to upper 40s. Let's take a look at that forecast now, and it's a wet one. Tonight we can expect 33 degrees with rain showers overnight, maybe even some snow. For Thursday, an 80% chance of rain and snow, 45 our high temperature. For Friday, 60% and rain and snow, and 45 once again. Mostly cloudy and light wind on Saturday with dry conditions on Sunday. Highs this weekend in the middle 40s, then beautiful on Monday and Tuesday with highs in the upper 40s. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with your host Dan Kuntz and News with Steve Hare. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
This is TV. This is TV Set Free. TV everywhere from local.